Lisa, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be working with this stamp set from the Stamps of Life. It is called Pet Pudgies for HSN. So these are only available on HSN's website. So if you head on over there, just do a search for Stamps of Life and see if you can find these. If they're not there, then unfortunately they're sold out. And they come with these two pet stamps. One is the dog and one is the cat. And some sentiments: I love your catitude, we are forever friends, a treat for you, how are you failing, a true friend leaves paw prints on your heart, and best friends. So I'm going to color both of these up today and make a card. For my first card, I'm going to be making a flip it card using the dog stamp. So here I'm coloring up this stamp, and I am using my Spectrum Noir markers. So I stamped this image onto some Spectrum Noir Ultra Smooth cardstock, which is what I use when I color with alcohol markers, and I stamped it with an alcohol proof ink, which is my Spectrum Noir Finesse Black ink pad, and I will link all these products in my blog. I will be making a total of 2 cards in this video. So again, this first one is a flip it card, and the second one will be a step up card. And I'm not going to show the coloring for the stamps that I use in the step up card, since all of it is very similar, and I wanted to keep this video under 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch the coloring for this while I set this to music, and then I will begin the process of making my cards. Next, I'm going to take the matching dies, and I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but these stamps do come with matching dies, and we'll die cut that out. So I'm going to be using the circle flip it for my card base, and I went ahead and used the largest die in the set to cut out the card base, and I cut this out of the sea glass, and this makes a flip it card, so you can just fold on the score lines and you have your card base. It also comes with the layering pieces, and the layering pieces for the back side as well as the front side. For the side panels, I'm going to use some pattern paper from the Grateful collection. So for the smaller panel, I'm going to use polka dots, and for the larger panel, I'm going to use the ice cream cones, and I'm going to run those through my die cut machine. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down. This die is a scalloped circle die, and it's included in the Circle Flip It kit. So I took this die and cut 2 pieces of candy cardstock, and then I went into my stitch circles and I die cut a white stitched circle, just one of those, because one will be layered directly on top of the scallop. And the one that's going to be layered on the scallop, that's actually going to have a sentiment stamp on it, and it's going to be called A Treat for You. So I'm just going to place this here in my MISTI and place my stamp right in the center. Next, I took this little ice cream cone die, and this is from the ice cream truck to stamp die set, and I die cut that out of some white cardstock. I did it about 5 times. I don't know that I'm going to use all of these, but I just wanted to have several. I always like to do several in case I mess up. And I'm going to use my Spectrum Noir sparkle pens, and I have a few colors here. I have the Cosmos color. I also have the Moonlight color and the Moonstone color, and I tried to get colors that closely represent the colors in my pattern paper. And these pens are really neat because they have not only the color, but they also add some glitter to your paper. So I'm just going to take these ice cream cones and I'm just going to color on the ice cream portion of this die cut, and I'm also going to come around the sides just to cover up any white that's showing. I'm going to come in with another green. This is more of a green. It's called Soft Jade, and let's see if this one looks any better. So I just want to see. Oh, yeah, the Soft Jade looks much better than the blue. So I'll put the blue aside and I'll save that blue for another project. But I need to go ahead and color the bottoms of these cones, so I need to find some brown markers. So I'm taking a marker. This is a Copic marker. This is my E44 marker, and I'm just going to color in the bottoms of these cones in the brown. And I'm also going to come around the edges, just make sure there's no white showing, and I'm going to do that for all of them. Next, I'm going to come in with my white gel pen, and on the bottom of this ice cream cone, on the actual cone part, there are some lines, and I'm just going to trace over those lines with my gel pen. Okay, so there are my ice cream cones. I'm going to have an ice cream cone hanging out of the doggy's mouth, and I'm going to put the green one, and I decided that the one I previously did was a little bit too dark, so I did another one, and this time I used a lighter green, and this one is called Soft Jade. So I'm going to go with the lighter one that I did, and that is going to go right on top, I should say in the middle of this doggy, right underneath his tongue, like he's licking the ice cream. And then this dog is going to go right here, just lining him up at the bottom edge, just to make sure everything's even. Next, I'm going to take these puffy stickers. I have these ice cream cone puffy stickers, and I'm going to attach them to a piece of cardstock. So I'm just going to cut these out. All right, so let's go ahead and add this. So if I put some glue, I'll just put glue on the whole back side. Put it where I want it. Okay, and then I'm going to put glue on the whole back side of this one. And just line them up.
So to finish this off, I just added the rest of the ice cream cones here. I was gonna add a bow here, but the bow was just too big and it was covering up the sentiment, so I decided just to leave it off. But I really like how this turned out. I love these colors, just such a happy card. So we have the ice cream cones, the doggy with his ice cream, a treat for you, our puppy stickers, and when you open it up, you can write your message. So that completes this card. My next card is going to be a step-up card, which I cut the largest die out of the Sky cardstock, and when that comes out of the die cut machine, just fold these score lines down. And again, I will link all of these products in my blog, so if you're interested in the step-up card, this is actually on the Stamps of Life website, so that's where you can pick this up from. So it's the card that just stands up on your table, and it's really super cute, and it comes with all kinds of fun goodies. So it does have a layering piece, which I cut out of the polka dot paper, and the paper that I'm using is from the Best Day collection. And it also has a couple of layering dies for these inside pieces, and I also cut those out of the same pattern paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere all of this down. I also use the grass die that comes in this set, and I die cut 2 pieces of green apple cardstock and 2 pieces of kiwi cardstock, so that's going to be my grass. And it also comes with a tree die, so I die cut the shadow layer out of the green apple, and then this front layer I die cut out of the pattern paper, again the same as the paper and the yellow paper from the Best Day collection. So I'm just going to put some ink on here just to add some color to the edges of the tree. And in this collection there are also some flowers. There's also a sun, and there's a die word, hello. So we'll go ahead and add this. And then I've got my sun. I need to get some ink for my sun. So the front piece I cut out of the lemonade, and then the back piece is out of the banana, the shadow layer. I'm just going to throw some ink on here. Just add a little bit of color. That's the banana ink that I used. I did put some double-sided adhesive on the back, but unfortunately I didn't have it all over the whole thing, so I am going to have to add some more glue. This also cuts out a mouth and some eyes, which I'm not going to use these eyes or mouth because they're the same color as the cardstock, and I want them to stand out, so I went ahead and die cut them again in some black cardstock, and I'll just piece those in there. All right, so here's my sun. Okay, and then I have the black cardstock that I cut. So that has the double-sided adhesive, so I can go ahead and just pop these in. I die cut the tree bark out of the brown. This is the chocolate cardstock. So I'm just going to add some glue, and I'll go ahead and adhere this down. I'm waiting on putting the grass down because obviously I want the grass to be in front. So I'll go ahead and adhere this just in the middle of this large panel. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere my tree bush to the top of this branch. I like some of the bark showing in the background, so I'm going to raise it up a little bit like you see. And I don't even know if I'm going to use this sun, because I think, I don't know, I might not even use the sun. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up my grass. Just put some ink on the edges. And I'm using my kiwi ink on both the green apple and the kiwi grass. So I'm going to go ahead and take the green apple, and I'm going to add some glue along the bottom strip, and a few of the strips going vertically, but not all of it because I don't need to adhere it all down. it's okay if some of it's loose, because it'll allow you to tuck some stuff behind if you wanted to. So this green apple one is going to go at the very bottom, making sure to put this at the very bottom of my yellow cardstock layer. Okay. And then the kiwi is going to go right in front, and I'm going to do the same thing with the glue. So put it along the edge. Some of these vertical lines going up, but not all of them, so we can tuck some stuff behind. Okay, and then I'm just gonna, it's not gonna be even with the edge of the green apple one. It's gonna be a little bit lower so that you can have some dimension there. And then we're gonna do the same thing with these, but I need to cut these off because they're a little bit too long. So that should be good. So I'll just measure these both and just trim them off. And then I want them both to be at the same size, so I'm gonna measure the opposite side and just make sure those are both the same size. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and layer up my grass, doing the same thing. I want the green apple in the back, just like the darker color in the back. Remember that the green apple grass is going to be lined up straight with the bottom of that yellow. Okay, and I don't know that I trimmed this one, no. So let me go ahead and trim this kiwi, just so that's the same size. All right, and that's gonna just go a little bit past, further down on this card layer than the green apple was. So I'm going to use my Misty and place my card base down because I want to put a sentiment inside this tree. And if I would have thought about it, I would have put the sentiment on the cardstock before adhering it to the tree. And I did not think about it. So this is what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. If it doesn't turn out okay, I'll just have to die cut another piece and then adhere it to the top, which is not a big deal. So the sentiment I'm going to use is "We are forever friends." So I'm just going to line it up on my tree. I'm using a black ink to ink this up. I think that turned out pretty good. I'll go ahead and take that out of there. And that looks super cute, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere my little animals, and I'm going to put the cat in front. So the cat's going to sit here, and notice that I'm going to be putting it between the two layers of grass. And then the dog is going to go in the second one, but when you adhere the dog, you want to make sure that if your card is folded, that you can see the entire dog next to the cat. So you don't want to put it too far over because look, part of him will be cut off. You really want to see this little guy. So make sure that you can see him well enough. And I was thinking about putting the dog here and the cat here, but I'm not doing it that way because look at their tails. This guy's tail's on the right. This guy's tail's on the left. So that way we make sure that the cat is on the left. Otherwise it just would look awkward. So see how you have it here? And if you put it here, I don't know. It just, to me, it looks awkward. You got both tails meeting each other. I just think it looks better this way. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna put glue on the tail and some of the body here. So not the whole thing because it's going to be hanging off. So I'll probably just take a pencil and just mark. Actually, it's probably anything past this line. I'm not going to put glue on. So that's what I'll do. I'll just make sure that nothing past that line has glue. All right, now with the dog, we're only going to add glue to the bottom of him. So I put my finger where I wanted the glue, and that's what I'm going off of. And he's going between the grass as well. Oh, that's gonna stink, because look what happened. That cannot show like that. That will look just terrible. Let me see if I can lift this up super quick. Oh, that's okay. It messed up, but that's okay. I can't have it looking like that because I didn't realize it was gonna go off the page. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna die cut the shadow layers and then just adhere them to their shadow layers and just die cut them out in white. All right, let's redo this. So I'm gonna put glue on the whole back side of the cat. See, when I stamped these out, I didn't think that I was gonna create a card with them where the backs show. And here I did. So if they were just going on a flat card, no big deal. But we cannot have this messy back showing. And here I was trying to save paper on doing when I did my stamping and just use the back side. Well, it didn't really save paper because I had to do that. All right, here we go again. So we're gonna go ahead and put glue. I think I said nothing past this line where this ear is. All right, here we go. We've got to cover up this mess, which is no big deal. Put the tail right back over there, and it will be good as new. Look at that. And now we have a clean backside. All right, so here we go again with the dog. So with the dog, we'll put glue up until, so probably to about where my finger is. And then we're gonna stick that between our layers, making sure we can see him when we close the card. Press him down. Oh, it's so really, really cute. Okay. Next, I have this die, which came with this card die set. And I die cut a piece of strawberry paper. And I had double-sided adhesive on it, but not all of it was on. So I'm going to add these flowers right across the front. Let's see. So I'm just going to die cut this again out of the strawberry, and then I'll cut it in half and use it for both of those. So I went ahead and die cut another one. So I'm just going to lay this across the bottom. And then snip off. I just think that adds some nice color. I went ahead and die cut another tree because looking at my card, I need something else back here, and I didn't want to put another animal because if you put one there, it'll be hidden because this dog is so big. So I figured I would just put another tree on here. So what I've decided is that I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down. I'm also going to trim this down just a tad because I don't want it too tall. And I also die cut this other piece, which is also in the kit, or I should say in the die set for this Step Up card. I'm just putting some foam on it because I didn't want it to look as similar to this one here. So I'm going to make it just a little bit different by just adding this other bush on here towards the top. And then this branch is going to be tucked in behind. It'll be tucked in behind the leaves. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. And just tuck it in as far down as I can. All right, and I hope that it's not too flimsy. Let me make sure I get some glue right up here at this top part. It might be too top heavy. All right, let's see if we can, I'm gonna cut this down. And if I can get it so that it's, I think that'll be good. If I can just trim this down. Look at this, as I'm thinking on the fly here. And I'm gonna glue it so that part of it is on the base and part of it is not. So it's gonna be a really short, almost like a really short tree. But it's gonna add some more character to this card. Almost like a bush, well, that's okay. I just don't want it to be so flimsy that it falls off the card. I am going to use my crystal drops. These are Nuvo crystal drops. This is Dandelion Yellow. And I'm just gonna fill the insides of each one of these flowers. So they're just gonna have a yellow dot in the middle, and I wanted to use the yellow because I think it just brings out the yellow from the pattern paper that's behind it. And these are really nice because they dry clear. So they're pretty much like the enamel dots. And they will take some time to dry, so you just need to lay your card flat while this dries. All right, so I'm just gonna let that dry. So all of my little dots here are dry. So this completes the card. Look how cute this is. We are forever friends with the cat and the dog, and it can stand up here on a table. So once again, I will link all of my products in my blog, so hop on over to there if you're interested in any of these other products. The cat and the dog, remember, are only on HSN. So head on over there and take a look at that. All right, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.